Hey y'all, I thought I'd make a quick video while I had a chance. I wanted to talk to you about when you feel like you are not seen by God, when you are going through a lot of trouble and you feel like you're not seen by Him and He seems so distant. I used to always feel this way too. When things were happening, I'd be like, oh God, where are you? I need you. But I wanted to tell you a little story. When I was 24 years old, my sister was murdered on my birthday. And it was just a horrible day, horrible experience for my entire family. And birthdays after that were just, terrible. I just didn't even want to have birthdays after that because it was such a stark reminder of her death. But a few years later, I had become pregnant out of wedlock. I felt like God must not have, approved of me and my life and everything, and I kind of distanced myself from Him. Well, as it would turn out, He was to give me the greatest gift ever, and He gave me my daughter that was born on my birthday. And after that, things were just so beautiful. Ever since then, my birthday has been so beautiful. And it's not that I don't have the sad memory, but He just redeemed it somehow, with the beautiful gift of my daughter. Another thing that had happened, a few years had passed. I became married and I had some more children, and I became pregnant, and I felt like, this really feels like twins. I don't know what it is, mother's intuition or whatever. But every time I went to the doctor, he said no, it's a singleton. And given that I was up there in age, he kept saying, miscarriage is possible. Well, I was very nervous about that, but I went in for my ultrasound to hear the baby's heartbeat for the first time. And when I was there, the whole family was there with me. And he told me that he not only saw one baby didn't have a heartbeat, but there were two babies, and that baby didn't have a heartbeat either. So, of course, I was devastated from that. But that night, I was just so sad, and I woke the next morning, and after barely getting any sleep, and over the baby's memorial, there was a double rainbow, and the whole sky was just this deep gray orange. But inside of the double rainbow, right over the baby's memorial, it was just this bright glowing light. It was incredible. I knew that God was trying to show me just His love for me during that time. And then, fast forward a year later, I became pregnant again, and this time I had progesterone shots because I also had, before the twins, I had a miscarriage very, very early on. And so I had progesterone shots throughout the pregnancy, and I held that pregnancy. And the day we went in to hear the baby's heartbeat, they gave us a little printout, of the ultrasound. And I noticed at the top that the date was the exact same date that I went in and found out my twins didn't have heartbeats. I'm just inviting you to pay attention to these little things because God does redeem things. When something bad happens, you might find out years later, He will redeem things, just like His death on the cross. It seemed like the end. It seemed like the devil conquered. But in the end, there was the resurrection. And if you pay attention, He does this all the time. There's always signs of His love for us if we just but look for it. He can give you little reminders also throughout your entire day. Little tiny reminders if you but look for it. Little signs of His love for you. So be open to those little signs. And He loves to work in numbers too. If I look at the clock, I don't know how many times this happens, but I've looked at the clock and it will be the exact month and the exact date of my birth. And that happens so often. It's almost as if He's prompting me to look at the clock right then. And I know that might seem like a coincidence, but it's happened so many times. I have so many screenshots of my phone during that time. I have pictures of my clock, and It happens so often that it just cannot be a coincidence. I feel like that is a little sign that God is communicating with me that he loves me. And so when I look and it's that time, I will be like, thank you, God. Thank you for loving me. And I love you too. Sometimes I just say, I love you too. So, but just look for those little things throughout your day, those little smiles from God that he sends your way. He is always there, even in your deepest pain. He's always there. So just have eyes to see, you guys. He loves you, and he just wants your happiness and your peace and your joy. God bless you guys, and I hope this brings a little glimmer of hope to your day. All right, bye.